Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, April 24th, and we got a lot of news to talk to you about today. One thing is, it's Penguin's birthday. It's the 8th anniversary of when Penguin launched today. We have a nice theme up at the Search Engine Roundtable, so definitely take a look at that. A lot to talk about. First, let's start off with the Google search algorithm ranking update. It seems like there was some unconfirmed update around April 16th. A lot of people are talking about it, and the various tools definitely show signals of it. So if you were impacted around April 16th, some tools so 15th, 16th, or 17th, you are not alone. So definitely take a look at that and see if you're part of that. There's lots of comments in that post, and it seems like there was some major unconfirmed Google update around that time. Froogle seems to be back on some sense. Google Shopping is now free, at least in the Google Shopping tab. The shopping results shown on the main Google search results will be paid, at least for the time being. But Google said they're opening up Google Shopping in the Google Shopping tab completely for free. You still could do ads there if you want, but it is going to be free. They're doing this. They were planning on doing this later, they said, but they pushed this forward because of the economic times and what's going on with COVID. So definitely take a look at that. There's ways I described in the post on April 22nd when I wrote about it, how to get in, how to get your products included, and so forth. This is launching, I think, very, very soon in the US and then expanding beyond that. So definitely take a look at that if you have products that you want to sell. Google is testing this new, well, not really new, it's been around since 2018. It's basically a box in the search results where if Google doesn't give you the answer you're looking for, or Google doesn't think it's going to give you the answer you're looking for, it will give you a box and ask you to submit a question that Google will then submit to content creators that Google thinks could answer that question. And then content creators will hopefully create that content, and Google will then index it and then show you that answer. I'll show you the box in the screenshots in this video. But Google told me they launched this now in the US as a pilot for specifically around COVID-19 related searches, although people are seeing it for way more broader searches than COVID related searches. So I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just being tested more broadly. But Google initially launched this in India and regions around there because content is somewhat lacking there. But Google's also now launched it in the US and other regions. They told me for COVID-19 related searches. So if you do see this box, you're not alone. It's definitely being shown to more and more people. And I think, I'm not sure, but this screenshot over here is an email that Google sent to some publishers asking if they want to be part of helping Google design new features for content creators. It doesn't specifically mention this question hub, which is that box that I showed you before. That's what it's called, Question Hub. But it seems like Google's expanding that to more and more people, and we'll see. This is a feature within Google Search Console. The question is this pilot going to be powered in Google Search Console or something separate? Google, after testing this, I think starting in November, has launched a box that gives people search tips. So if Google cannot find great matches, what they call, if Google fails at showing you good search results for a specific query, Google's going to show you this tips box, which we actually covered back in November. The only difference between the November test and the launch is that Google now by default will show you search results below that box, whereas before you have to actually click a button to actually load the search results. And Google's basically showing these search tips to actually help you improve your query. The reason Google's doing this is because there's so much new content around COVID that it might not get the answer right, and it wants you to give you search tips in order to help you improve stuff. This week, I believe it was Tuesday night, where Google stopped indexing new content again for about an hour or two. Reported at Search Engine Land first, and then within a couple hours, Google started to index content again as it normally would. But usually Google indexes content from news websites like Wall Street Journal, this site, etc. within minutes. And for some reason, it was not. It wasn't being indexed for over an hour. Google seemed to fix the issue. They didn't really comment on it outside of saying we're looking into it, but it is now resolved. Frederick from Bing said, no indexing your XML sitemap won't hurt Bing's ability to discover URLs. It just won't hurt. Same thing with Google, but I just found that interesting. Google said that it cannot help its internal SEO team. with questions. So it was interesting. In this video they posted, John Mueller basically said, our own internal SEO team asked this question, but we couldn't answer it for them. But since you asked it, we could go ahead and post a video about the answer. So it's very interesting. They're much stricter when it comes to answering questions with Google's internal SEO team versus, our SEO questions being external SEOs. Google said you shall limit the HREFLANG implementations to content that you have, or areas of content that you have unique content. So somebody was like, I have 140 HREFLANG pairs. What should I do? And John Mueller was like, that's way too many. How do you have 140 websites all translated perfectly unique content? The truth is some large organizations could do that. Even small ones could. But the vast majority, I guess, in his eyes, cannot do such a great job of making unique content in all these different languages. Same thing with headings. John Mueller said once you start going down to H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, at some point it doesn't become important anymore. And he basically said too many heading sections could be a waste of time specifically for SEO. Obviously for design, usability, and UX, it makes do whatever you need to do. But in terms of SEO purposes, once you're getting down to like H6s, probably a waste of your time specifically for SEO. Google's John Mueller also said that for Google performance reports in Google Search Console, by default, they mostly go ahead and filter out automated queries. So rank checking tools, any tools that actually do automated queries on Google, that stuff would not, for the most part, some stuff gets slipped through, but for the most part will be filtered out of your performance report, and you should not have to worry about that. Google is testing what looks like a new how-to schema rich results. So if you take a look at this screenshot over here, I'm not sure exactly where, but somewhere I'll throw it in there. You'll see that it looks a little bit different. So this is the new version, and this is the older version of how it looked. But it kind of reminds me back of the older interface, but Google's constantly testing stuff. Talking about testing, Google's also testing again, showing favicons in the desktop search results. Here's another screenshot, a new screenshot showing favicons again in the search result. I don't think Google ever stopped showing them for a small percentage of people, and I think Google's going to continue to show them for a small percentage of people just to keep testing it. Again, more tests that we've covered in the past. Google keeps testing things. Here's a 3-bar user interface, left-hand side, middle search results, right-hand side, more panels and so forth. Google's been testing this for a while, and it seems to be coming up for more and more people these days. Google's also testing way too many related searches. I've seen a bunch of people send this to me over the past few weeks. But instead of having 2 columns of searches related to, Google's testing 3 columns of searches related to. So here's a screenshot of 2, so you can take a look at that. On the Google Ads side, Google announced yesterday, I believe, yesterday afternoon, that Google Ads verification, they're going to actually verify all businesses in the US, starting in the US, but expanding that beyond that, starting this month. So if you want to advertise on Google Ads, you're going to have to be verified as a business by Google, or by submitting some documentation, in either personal documentation or business documentation or both. And when you do that, you'll see that you'll be able to advertise in Google, and then Google will basically be able to show the searchers who is advertising, who is this advertiser, because that's becoming more and more important in terms of valid, a lot of scam ads out there. So Google's doing this, and it makes sense. I'm kind of a fan of it. On the Google Call ads, Google changed the name from Google Call Only ads to Google Call ads, so that's a little shorter. Plus, Google now lets you go ahead and see in there a visit website link, because obviously now in COVID-19 days, you're probably not going to necessarily get an answer if you call all stores or all places that you're trying to call. But if you visit the website, you can obviously see more information if the person's not answering the phone call, if there's no staff there to answer the phone call. Google local service ads is showing these new service level areas around COVID-19 stuff. So not just Google Local, but also Google Local Service ads are giving you the option to say, all right, we accept video appointments, or we have accepting on-site jobs, or only urgent jobs, or we're experiencing high call volume, or we use protective gear and stuff and so forth. So that's nice to see Google Local ads adapting for COVID-19 related stuff. On the local front, you can now print posters from Google My Business that have COVID-19 related messaging for your storefront. So you can have, Google gives you all these pre-made messages. We're open for takeout, stay safe, no contact delivery, and so forth. So you can actually go ahead and print these new signs from Google My Business for your storefront that have COVID-19 related stuff. Bing Places has added GoFundMe integration. So if you are a business that's struggling, you go to Bing Places, integrate your GoFundMe account, and hopefully your customers could then search for you in Bing and then submit to your GoFundMe page, which is pretty cool. And finally, we posted a vlog with Ari Nahmani of Kahina. We talked specifically about hyperlocal SEO and organic search and e-commerce. So definitely take a look at that vlog. We're doing the vlogs now once a week. I should have enough for the next few months, hopefully. And hopefully by then I'll be able to then start interviewing people in person. If not, I guess I'll have to do these over the internet, Skype, Zoom related calls, which I would love to actually avoid doing. I'm sure we all would love to avoid doing that in an event. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search and Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com over the past week, and today is April 24th. Everyone have a great, safe, and healthy weekend. I'll see you guys next. Goodbye.